Alright, it's Saturday, and I just did the Rebuilding Together program, so I'm showered for the day finally, and it's about 5:30. So I'm getting ready to do another cooling upgrade, and I'm going to be changing some things out on my home theater PC, and I'm getting ready to install this, the Zalman low-profile, what is this, the CNPS 8900 Quiet, and see if we can, it's falling down, see if we can cool down things on the home theater PC a little bit, because actually I need to stop Prime 95. I'm doing some recording for the video for this to kind of do a before and after, and here's what's happening at the moment. My computer's gonna explode. So yeah, I'm gonna be putting that in, and then I'm gonna be switching out the 7850 for this bad boy, the GTX 750. Look at that, glossy reflection, 750 Ti. All right, so I just finished the install for the Zalman cooler, the CNPS 8900 Quiet. This may be quiet, it is, but I wasn't quiet installing it. Oh man, was that not a fun install. I was swearing up a storm doing that. Just one of the worst implementations of screwing down a CPU cooler I think I've ever seen. I'm gonna set the camera, rest it here. Really, really frustratingly difficult. You had to use a really small screwdriver, you had to go into weird angles. It would have been a lot easier if the motherboard hadn't already been in the case, but still, even if the motherboard hadn't been in the case, this thing still would have been a bear to put in. I don't think it's seated 100% like it's supposed to be, and I actually had to break some of the directions to do it, but I will say, the cooling performance is phenomenal. It's cooling my processor down 20 to 30 degrees better than the other low profile cooler I was using, which, to be fair, was pretty terrible. It cooled my i5 just fine, but the Xeon, if I really stressed it, really pushed it to the limit. Prime 95 was hitting 100 on multiple cores. Now it's only hitting 65 to 70, so really hard to install. Yeah, it was worth it, but man, tough. If you haven't watched the video, check it out. It's low light sausage grilling time. Oh yeah. Those are gonna be good. Something about the Valley benchmark on a 60-inch TV, it's very soothing. Running a benchmark to compare the 750 Ti to the 7850 that I pulled from my home theater PC. This is just making me sleepy. Well, it's Sunday and I just uploaded 2 videos to YouTube. One of them published tonight, the other one will publish probably Tuesday. Both of them kind of focused around the 750 Ti and my Zalman cooler. And I'm actually watching a documentary on YouTube, a BBC documentary on Amazon and its rise to power. It actually got sent by somebody on Twitter. So this should be pretty interesting. It's only in 480, only in 480p, but yeah, it'll work. Anyway, I'm just chilling on the couch here. Got the cat right next to me. He's a little mad because he was on my lap and he started cleaning himself, so I booted him off. But yeah, I think I'm gonna make some, oh, he's rubbing my camera. I'm gonna make some spaghetti. Really?
We have 14 leadership principles at Amazon.
I'm gonna make some spaghetti tonight using the leftover spicy sausage I have and some spicy sausage sauce that I bought. Man, he loves this camera. And dude. Alright, so just had a big storm blow through actually, which was kind of nice, I gotta say. I haven't had a thunderstorm here in a while, at least not a proper thunderstorm. And the cat is chilling. I think he's mad that I closed the window, which by the way, I still need to clean this because you, my friend, are messy. Alright, so I've moved into a little bit more light here. It was just too dark in there. So anyway, I'm doing my first vlog with the new Canon, what is this, the Canon, it doesn't say on the front, it just says S110, but I think it's a power shot. But anyway, it's got the super nice wide-angle lens, so putting that to the test, kind of seeing how that's going to work out. The only thing I don't like is I can't actually see the screen, so I can't see if I'm in the frame, but I'm assuming I am, considering how wide the angle on this lens is. So I'm going to make some dinner, but I just actually got done recording a video. I kind of got really excited today because everybody's doing their previews of the new Z97 board. So I kind of went on a little bit of a rant talking about if now is a good time to upgrade and then what's coming down the pipe. So Z97 and then Devil's Canyon and Haswell refreshes and then X99 and Haswell E and all that good stuff. So got a little carried away with that. I bought some of this roasted pineapple and habanero sauce. Look how big that thing is. I don't know, I was at Sam's Club and I kind of lost my mind. And then I bought a bunch of burgers. But here's my problem. I need to clean this house. Look at this. This is ridiculous. I've got stuff all over the place in the kitchen. Dishes everywhere. And then normal people don't have fans just sitting out in their kitchen. 3 cooling fans just chilling right there. And then this really bad CPU cooler that I actually got rid of. And I own a second one for whatever reason. And then a bunch of boxes on the floor. And then this is still here from when I did my... This is still here from when I did my upgrade to the home theater PC over the weekend when I changed the cooling and everything like that. So I need to get the table back where it goes and get these light kits put somewhere else. But yeah. Ah, much better. Even the categories. Look at that. That's what it's supposed to look like. Alright, I'm making some burgers and I'm being wild about how I'm doing it. I'm actually trying out baking frozen burger patties for the first time because I usually make these on the skillet, on a pan, on the grill top, and it stinks up the house something crazy and it gets kind of smoky in here and the smell's still there the next morning and it's just not good. So I thought, alright, I've been seeing some stuff online about baking these patties, the frozen patties. So I'm giving it a shot, 350 degrees, 30 minutes. See what I get. There it is. Oh, that's good. So I've been watching a new show on FX called Fargo. And I have to say, this is really good so far from what I've seen. I'm watching the 3rd episode now. If you haven't watched it yet and you have cable and a DVR, do yourself a favor, set your DVR and just record it. There should be reruns. It should catch you up. It's good stuff. It's kind of dark and a little bit creepy, but supposedly based off of a true story from events in January of '06 up in Minnesota. So yeah, really amazing cast. Billy Bob Thornton plays the perfect character in this as the, you know, just as this really creepy guy. I mean, obviously he's the villain in the show, but he does it in a weird way. In that way that he has, it's good stuff. Can you hear I'm kind of like congested? You can tell spring's here. Stuffy. Alright, well I think that was a success. That went pretty well. I actually went in and got some testimonial from the chairman of the State Fair Commission, so that was good. And a little radio there. Kind of cloudy, kind of cold here on a Thursday. First day of May. It's May Day. That's a thing, right? Can't keep up with all these holidays. You know what else I can't forget? I can't forget Mother's Day. That's coming up. Make sure I don't forget that one for sure. My mom's awesome. So yeah, really cool just being able to walk through these facilities, especially when they're first done, and be able to just check everything out and go into the locker room and onto the floor and everything. And that's one of the things that's really cool about my job, is I'm able to actually see facilities like this as they're being built and then actually walk around in them and experience them when they're finished, and just get to meet a lot of really cool people that way. So that was kind of one of those things today, because if you're not from Indiana, you don't know, but the State Fair here, it's kind of a big deal. Alright, so I just picked up the 8350FX computer after work here, and I'm on the way over to my parents' house and drop it off for my dad. So I've got Windows 7 on there. All of his Origin and Steam games are finally restored, which is good. Because somehow somebody got into his account. I don't know what he did. He used an email address he doesn't usually use when he registered for Steam. And then somehow it got hacked. So he went in to do his password reset. But his password reset was his previous employer's email. So we had no way to get it back, to get that Yahoo account back. So I'm like, why didn't you use your current email account? I don't know. So I ended up doing the legwork for him. I contacted Steam, told him that the email account associated with my dad's account was locked. Couldn't get into it, couldn't do his password reset because he didn't remember Steam password, and he had no way to get the email to reset it. So Steam was good about it. They just had me email a picture of one of his CD keys, because he has physical copies of all these discs, along with my case number, and then they reset it, so that was good. Alright, so I'm watching the Tech Talk with Jay's 2 Cents and Barnacle Nerdgasm. So this is my Thursday routine at this point. I've started doing this for the last probably 3 or 4 weeks now. I think I watched the episode right before the one where they got really drunk, and that one was kind of weird. But yeah, Thursday's kind of my kickback day. I try to make a point to make Thursday a day when I can just come home and unwind and just... I played some Rayman Legends, because I forgot I owned the game, actually. David DeFranco, over on his YouTube channel, I was watching one of his vlogs, and one of his fans had sent him a copy of Rayman Legends, and I was like, oh yeah, I own that. And then I was like, oh hell, I don't remember the CD key, so I went into Amazon in my game library, re-downloaded it, and it's one of those Origin things, or whatever, not Origin, but Usoft. Don't even get me started on that. That's a whole other rant, and why I'll never play Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Because I wasted so much time in it, and then Uplay, or whatever it was, just dropped my save game. So anyway, I was playing Rayman Legends, and then when I was actually looking for it on Amazon, I forgot that I had actually also ordered Rayman Origins for PS3, so that's just chilling down in my game collection. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at that. Alright, so here's the game collection that I've got, and there's quite a bit down here, and quite a bit that hasn't been played. There's some movies. I don't have very many movies. And actually, that's a copy of the Wire box set that I bought because it wasn't available for streaming. Now it is. So anyway, Ni no Kuni, I'm kind of playing. I need to keep playing it, though. And then there's Rayman Origins that I totally forgot I had. For some reason, I have Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag for PS3. I think I got that as a gift, but I actually have it for PC. And I have it like 3 different ways because it kept coming with graphics cards. The Last of Us. Why I haven't played this, I do not know. Everybody keeps telling me to play it. Then Gran Turismo 5. That's still sealed. So Last of Us still sealed. Gran Turismo still sealed. Journey. That one I've got. And Beat, which is a great game. Tales of Exilia, Collector's or Limited Edition. That has a soundtrack with it. Haven't played that. Still sealed as well. Final Fantasy 13 I beat, reluctantly. It was okay in the last half. No, last third. Final Fantasy 13-2, which still sealed. Haven't played that. And then Assassin's Creed. This was a gift I think I got. What is that one? The Revelations. I heard that one sucks, so I'm not real excited to play it. Most overhyped game in the world, in my opinion, Grand Theft Auto 5, and then Super Mario 3D World, again, still sealed. What's wrong with me? Haven't played that. New Super Mario Bros. Wii U, sealed. Haven't played it. I might have opened that one, but I haven't played it. I can't tell. And Super Mario Galaxy, love it. New Mario Bros. Wii, that's just Wii. Played that, loved it. Played Donkey Kong Country, got really pissed at it, never beat it, and then I got this. Someone that works for the Indie Star, that's a friend of mine, actually gave this to me, and she came over one night, and we just got stupid with it. And then, of course, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Have not played that at all, either. Alright, so I'm making dinner. It's actually second dinner. I'm kind of snacking after what I had at my parents' house, but there was one piece of chicken left over, and I kind of had some plans for it. So as I pace waiting for the chicken to cool off in the microwave, it says it's ready. Here's what I did. Melted some cheese on a leftover piece of fried chicken and warmed up some buns. So I'm just gonna, that's hot, plop that on the bun. Then put a little BBQ sauce on there, because you know how I like my BBQ. So that piece of chicken's really hot right now, obviously. Got a couple of other things on Amazon today. Here we go. So I got some socks. Woo! Exciting. Some pants. Don't want to touch too much though, because my hands are kind of greasy from the chicken. Scoot, scoot, scoot. And then 2 shirts that were on sale. I stained a couple of my shirts, and it was like a bad grease stain, and one of them was like, I don't know what it was, like permanent marker or something. And no matter how I tried to get it out, no matter how many times I tried to get it out, just couldn't get it out. So one of them was a nice shirt too. I kind of had to bail on it, but what are you gonna do? So got another shirt. That'll be my working around the house shirt. So it won't go to waste. It'll just be my I don't care if anything happens to this shirt. And then finally, I got some shoes. Now, these are the black version of the shoes I'm actually wearing today. These are some Bostonians, and they're really comfortable. This one's got a little scuff on it. I gotta buff that out. And then the bottoms suffered pretty hard from the winter, and I even tried to stay away from salt, but they do have a leather bottom. So I decided I really like these shoes, so I went ahead and got them in black. So I've still got to lace these up. But yeah, so I just love a new shoe. And look at the bottom. Oh. It's got that nice leather smell. It smells really good. So it's got that nice new soft leather feel on it. So these should last a longer time than the other pair. I mean, there's nothing wrong with these. The bottoms just look rough because it's summer. So they won't be as abused as the other shoes were, because I bought these back in like September or October. So they went through the worst of the winter. Alright, I think the chicken's cooling down, and you can tell there's chicken in the house because the cat's in the house. You smell chicken? You smell chicken? You'll notice I'm using an actual plate. I've got a subscriber, I believe his or her name is Kai. She's from overseas, or he's from overseas. This person's from overseas, and kind of gives me a hard time about not being green, I think, sometimes, because I had all the boxes in the garage, and it was pointed out to make sure I recycled them, and then I got asked on Twitter, what's up with the paper plates? So you inspired me. I'm avoiding the paper plate tonight. I went with the washable plate. Alright guys, you can see the EVGA box being illuminated in the distance. What's lighting it? An incredibly bright fallen LED strip, that's what's lighting it. So I wasn't kidding when I said double-sided tape is probably recommended to go along with the tape that comes with this thing. Because it's fallen. I gave it a chance. I really did. I gave it a chance. Didn't hold. I just got done mowing the grass again this time of year. That's pretty much a once a week kind of thing. And it's only 50 degrees outside and overcast. So it actually wasn't bad, but I did have to go over the back part twice because it got kind of long. So looks good, but you can tell I let it get too long. So I started playing SimCity. I got it on sale. It was on the Origin sale. And I really was excited for this game when it was announced. And then I was so bummed when it got such bad reviews. And now there's the offline play mode. And most of the stuff seems to be fixed from what I've seen and watched on YouTube. So just giving it a spin. It's supposed to get kind of boring pretty quick, but for the price, being kind of a SimCity fanboy, all the way back to SimCity 2000, that was my jam. I'm gonna give this a spin for a while. So far, I'm enjoying it. And it's bedtime. And I'm up, and it's before noon. Alright, I need my coffee. Where's my coffee? Right, so it's Saturday afternoon now. I've had my coffee. I'm coming to, waking up. Thought I'd mention this. These are really good batteries. If you're looking for a good rechargeable battery, I eat through these things a lot because I use them in the field recorder that I use for my videos, and then also in game controllers like the Xbox 360 controller for my PC and various things. So these are the AnyLoop from Sanyo, and they actually just came out with a new version of this battery, which is what these are. And they recharge up to 1,800 times, which I think is like 200 or 300 times more than the other ones were rated, which are the ones I use now, and they're really good. And what's unique about these batteries is they apparently retain 70% of their charge for up to 5 years, which is a lot better than a lot of them. Usually rechargeable batteries start to crap out pretty quickly. So yeah, you're supposed to be able to recharge 1,800 times, 1,900 mAh, so there you go. They're like a little under 20 bucks, but they're well worth it. I mean, the way I go through batteries, these things save me a lot of money. So yeah, some of the things from this week. The big one obviously being my overclocking incident. So that one got quite a bit of attention. It's kind of a pain because here's what happened. So when I did the 4770K build, I went in and did my usual quick overclock that I do just using Level Up. And the reason I do that is that it kind of quickly gives you an idea just of where the CPU is probably going to be able to land in an overclock. So I like to do that one first, let the motherboard do its automatic overclock, and then kind of take note of where it goes. And then at that point I go in and I do a manual overclock, and I just set everything using adaptive voltage, and I went to 4.4, so multiplier 44, 900 megahertz bus, all that jazz. So I did all that, got my overclock set the way I wanted it after I did my test with the automatic overclock, and then just kind of went about my business. And then I went to go start doing the videos for the build, actually doing the temperature checks and everything like that. Before I did any of that, I had a few fans at that time hooked into the motherboard's fan headers, so I decided I would run the ASUS AI Suite fan utility. The problem is when I clicked on Auto Tune, I thought it was just doing it for the fans, but it wasn't. It was actually re-overclocking the motherboard on the automatic overclock. So I rebooted the system, everything came back, and it said, hey, your fans are set. Good job. And then it said, your system's running at 4.4 gigahertz. And I thought, well, yeah, I know, I set it to 4.4 gigahertz. So anyway, I moved on and was starting to do testing. I thought, it's running pretty hot, but it is a Haswell chip, and when I had set my overclock manually down to like 4.2, it wasn't running real hot. So I just figured it was an issue with the chip, and I actually even went so far as to reseat the H105 and make sure everything was okay there, and put some different thermal grease on there, and it was still running pretty hot, so I just kind of dismissed it. And then thankfully somebody in the videos noticed, and they said, your voltage is running at 1.37. That's really high. Well, yeah, it is really high. And I actually went back and looked at my video, and I was like, oh my gosh, it is running at 1.37. That shouldn't be happening because I have it set in the overclock in the BIOS to not go beyond 1.3. And apparently in the world of the ASUS motherboards, auto is adaptive because it gives you three choices. You got your offset, adaptive, and then fixed. And I use fixed voltage usually more on the AMD side. I find I get a little bit better overclock out of doing that. But on the Intel side, I've always had really good luck just using the offset. So it was on auto, which obviously was doing adaptive. And what adaptive does essentially is whatever the CPU starts to draw, the chipset on the motherboard tries to determine how much it thinks it's going to need in order to maintain a stable overclock. But it overshoots it a lot in programs like Prime 95 and the Intel burn-in test, because those programs really stress the CPU, and it actually freaks out the software that's trying to figure out what kind of voltage to give you, and it just overshoots big time. And that's how you end up at 1.37, when in reality 1.26, 1.27 gives me a rock-solid overclock at 4.4 using offset. So when I went back and made that change, everything was much better. So let that be a word of warning. If you're going to do the automatic overclock on your motherboard, realistically you're going to be fine in like 99.9% of the things you're going to do, but know that if you do go into like a synthetic stress test, that adaptive voltage is going to shoot things way up there. But just my cautionary tale from my experience over the last few weeks. That being said, really impressed with the H105, and I actually now have it in push-pull, and the great thing about this overclock that I've got is because I'm not pushing things to a crazy level. I'm keeping everything under 1.3 volts. Even running Prime 95, it's not actually in push-pull all the time. Those front fans that do the pushing are only kicking on periodically, and 90% of the time when I'm using this thing, it actually, because I have it set, on the temperature sensors on the motherboard, it's actually just in pull, and it keeps the temperatures under 70. So I've got the push-pull there. Definitely overkill for what I'm doing, but it's nice that it's there in case I need it, and the system stays super quiet. Even when I'm under a full load, even running Prime 95, obviously you can hear the computers on, but it's still really quiet. And like right now, when I'm just sitting in idle, I really can barely even tell the computer's running. Those LEDs are actually my best indication that the computer's on. So I had a few comments about what my next build should be, and I'm going to throw that out there now. What do you want my next build to be? I've had a couple people now actually suggest doing like a really small form factor build, something using an ITX board, which I'm actually going to be doing an ITX build, but it's going to be for a FreeNAS box. So that'll be coming up probably next weekend. this weekend I'm going to focus on doing the benchmark comparisons on the new NVIDIA driver, because another revision of that beta driver has come out, so it should be a little more stable. I hate doing the first iteration of betas because they're beta drivers. They're not guaranteed to be stable. So anyway, back to the ITX thing. I've had a few people say, do an ITX build, and I'm thinking what I might do is something using an AMD APU, like the maybe the Kavari-based A10 APU and like an ATI-based sort of entry-level graphics card, because those are supposed to run in like Crossfire with the built-in GPU on the AMD APU. I'm probably going to skip over doing Z97 for now, unless somebody wants to send me something, but if one of the manufacturers wants to send a board, I'd be more than happy to play around with it. But the only thing that Z97 is really bringing to the table right now that Z87 doesn't have is you've got that SATA Express and then the M standard for the faster transfer speeds on the SATA bus, but the SATA Express drives aren't even out yet. So there's really nothing that it's bringing to the table until Devil's Canyon comes along, and then maybe I'll look into it again. But I kind of want to, go away from the Intel side, maybe do something with the AMD. So a couple people asked me about doing a Steam box, and that may be something I actually do. I mean, what do you think? Would you like to see something like that? A really small form factor, kind of almost like console build that's for gaming, for your family room? I mean, I've got the home theater PC, but you take it to the next level. And SteamOS should be out soon. I just checked this morning, and they keep saying it's coming soon. But once SteamOS comes out, we'd actually turn that build into a full game console Steam box. So if you want to see that, let me know, and I can start maybe getting some parts collected and things like that on getting that put together. So, and if you have a case that is a really interesting case design that you might want to see, throw that down in the comments as well. That being said, I'm going to close this out, get to some editing today, and it's only 58 degrees now, but it's supposed to be pretty nice out. I mean, it was cold yesterday. The last 2 days was pretty cold, so maybe try to get some sun, and you can see the light's probably bright on my face. Get some color in there so it doesn't look like I'm a light bulb. Go ahead and click on that subscribe button, and follow the tweet bird, and head over to Tech Uploaded on Twitter. Give me a follow on there. It's random. I post random things. I posted some fajitas I had for lunch yesterday. So anyways, always thanks for watching, and be sure check back soon.